What's going on, y'all? Detroit Lions fans, I am here. It is the Wolverine coach Mike Jones, and I'm here just to retouch up that Myles Garrett situation because I think he's coming to Detroit without a shadow of a doubt. But hey, like the video, share the video, help us get this content out to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. Shout out to Kurt Steele. Shout out to my co-host LL Cool Torrance. But I got to touch up on this Myles Garrett situation just a little bit, man, because there's a few things that occurred to me. Um, so here we go, man. And this is why I am so confident in Myles Garrett actually coming to Detroit. First reason being, the addition of Myles Garrett would make the best defensive line in the history of the NFL. When you have Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil, and Myles Garrett, they are all top five positional players at their position. When you have that on the defensive line, that is the best defensive line in the history of the NFL. That's better than the Steel Curtain in Pittsburgh, right? That's better than the Purple People Eaters in Minnesota. That's better than the 85 Bears. That's better than the early 2000s Baltimore Ravens. That's better than the San Francisco defense was about 5 or 6 years. That is without a doubt the best defensive line in the history of the NFL. Okay? I mean, let's just get that out the way. There is no other defensive line that will be better than that. Now, you add to the fact that Brad Holmes is a former defensive tackle, is a former collegiate defensive tackle. And as a GM now, you see he puts a lot into the trenches, right? He puts a lot into the trenches. And just to think, he has an opportunity to have that type of defensive line. Not to mention Myles Garrett. I forgot what show he went on, but he went on. He said, "Hey, I don't know how long I have. This is not quote for quote, but I don't know how long I have, right? I want to win a title, and I want to physically impact the game. He doesn't want to be a guy who's at the tail end trying to hang on and try to, and just try to get a Super Bowl. He wants to be an impactful player on a Super Bowl roster. And he's right because none of these players know how long they have, uh, especially when they're at the peak of their game. So I understand Myles Garrett wholeheartedly, and I'm telling you right now, Myles Garrett will be a Detroit Lion at the beginning of the 2025 season. I'm telling you right now, you can mark it, you can book it, you can write it out, take a picture, whatever. Myles wants to win a championship. What team in the NFL add Myles Garrett to, and it completes that whole team? The Detroit Lions. If you add Myles Garrett, I'm sure they can make a run. But if you add Myles Garrett to the Detroit Lions, that makes the Detroit Lions the most complete team. Now, you might have to lose a couple of guys, right? Like you might have to lose a Derek Barnes and a Carlton Davis to make this happen. I'm fine with that. All right? Like, you got to look at it, and I know people are like, oh, no, those are key pieces. Look at it this way. If Myles Garrett was on the trade block and the Cleveland Browns were requesting Derek Barnes and Carlton Davis for Myles Garrett, would you make the trade? Yes, you would make the trade. So, them not being able to re-sign a few guys who, they're key rotational pieces, they're key guys. But man, if you have Aiden Hutchinson and Myles Garrett, who are both three-down players, let's not act like they're only pass rushing down players. Those are both three-down players. Those are guys who stop the run and get to the quarterback. The best, the most elite guys at stopping the run, and the most elite guys at getting to the quarterback. You don't need another guy to come. I mean, you'll have key rotational pieces on the D line, but you don't need a guy to come in and okay, he's not this type of player, so he can't play on this down. And Like, and that goes across the board. DJ Reader, Lynn McNeil, those are all 3 down guys. Um, like I said, this will be the best defensive line in NFL history, and I'm booking it. And I think Brad Holmes will do whatever he has to make that happen. Myles Garrett wants it. Brad Holmes wants it. The Detroit Lions want it. It's gonna happen. But I just wanted to give you all that quick little confidence, a little booster. I know a lot of people are out there like, oh, it's not gonna happen. The cap space, not. Brad Holmes and Disney will make it happen. They will both make it happen. There's a generational player like Myles Garrett. I know people think about all the picks and all of this. I'm telling you right now, they gave up 2 firsts and a third and Jared Goff from Matt Stafford. Right? And I said this on our podcast a few days ago. We can give up 2 firsts, a third, and Hendon Hooker and make this happen. Right? Without a doubt. Because we've been to the NFC Championship. Next season, we were the number 1 seed. And both of those went without a Super Bowl visit. So you can't take anything for granted. Contracts are coming up. Some guys will be resigned. Some guys won't be signed. Your window is right now. I have confidence that Brad Holmes in this draft and in the future drafts will pick out what he needs. But this team is ready and they're ready to go now, and you can't miss that window. And he's a former LA Rams. He knows about that. So with that being said, I'm Coach Mike Jones. I holla at y'all, man.